Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the Bears Den. How is everyone doing tonight, guys? It is Talk Show Tuesday time. Not to be confused with Taco Tuesday. It also helps if I hit the right buttons, because, yeah, that just helps in general. But yeah, guys, we are back. We're going to be talking more about some video games and news thereabouts. And I forgot to hit the update button there, so whoopsies.
How do I look?
But yeah, I'm going to be talking more about video games and all sorts of fun goodness that has been going on in the news. Video games. Yeah, exactly. Video games. But needless to say, feel free, join in on the chat. I mean, it's a talk show after all. We talk, and if you guys have comments, questions, concerns, whatever, feel free, chime in. We'd be glad to have you voice your own opinions. Also, Blue, welcome. How are you doing?
I hit the button twice. Why do I always hit the button twice?
I don't know. Why do you hit the button twice?
I don't know. It's like I'm fucking new here. Every single time I stream, I'm like, meh. I'm like, dude, you've been doing this for like ever? Why? Okay,
Yeah,
why is
yeah.
the radio software not going away? God damn, that's annoying me. So many little things. So how's your week?
Not bad, not bad. Kind of relaxing, kind of stressful. Well, I told you. Let me rephrase that. I told you all the details that I had.
Yeah.
Basically, for those who aren't aware, something happened over last weekend, Saturday of last weekend, that made me exceptionally scared that I was actually going to lose my husband. Health related, lose him kind of thing. Not like, hey, we were splitting or anything like that. No, like as in 6 feet under lose. So that really just shook me to the core. So been getting over that. Things are getting a lot better. Long and short, he had a.
Is he feeling okay now?
Yeah, I mean he's feeling fine. He had someone look at his heart. He had an echocardiogram on last Friday, I think.
Okay.
Everything looked fine there. He's getting a CT scan. Actually, I think it was Friday or something like that. But basically, getting heart and brain looked at and make sure nothing's wrong. And it's like okay.
Good. Well, that's good.
Yeah. But needless to say, I was worried there for a while.
Yeah. No. And honestly, I'm glad that like we were both like, yeah, no, fuck that. Like last week.
Yeah.
You know, because being like, I saw you reply to some tweet. Like, what's the biggest thing that hurts a streamer's mental?
State?
Like
one of the hardest things to juggle while being a streamer, and literally it's mental health. Regardless of what anybody says in the streaming industry, mental health, I would say, is number one. Because if you don't have that positive input, like mental state going in, you're not going to have it coming back out, guaranteed.
No. And honestly, like, there's just a lot of days because it takes like it seems really fucking easy, right? You just go up, you're playing video games. Like it's the same thing that motherfuckers say about the QA world. Right. Oh, you play video games all day. It's like, no, you don't. Like you have no idea like how much stress and bullshit go into it. And this is like all of that plus like a performance. You're basically trying to be fun and funny because you don't want to be bummer drummer on stream, you know?
Oh, right. Definitely.
Which I definitely fall into that trap sometimes, which I feel bad about. Like, I do feel bad about that. Yeah, I know, but you don't sad boy your tags. My girlfriend just broke up with me. I'm the saddest thing ever. Let's play Viscera Cleanup Simulator. Like, I sad boy it sometimes.
Hey, but that also adds character to the streams, too.
Yeah, well,
I'm trying to throw you something.
I appreciate that.
And thank you, Blue. He basically says that so it now makes sense. You seemed a little bit different in the past couple of days, a little bit more on edge. So now he has a little bit more perspective as to why these changes have been so obvious coming from me. And thank you.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's one of the reasons why I work the way I do. Like, I'm honest to a fault, and like, I don't ever hold anything back, which is definitely problematic, right? Like, I should at some point learn like a filter, but dude, I'm 43.
Yeah.
I'm clearly not gonna learn that. Like, so it's kind of like get on board or go away. Like, that's just kind of all I am at this point.
Yeah.
But I like that we still have friendos that come and hang out with us, even when you're in a bad mood, you know?
Yeah.
That's awesome. We're very lucky for that. So.
And realistically, sometimes it's okay, I'm in a bad mood, but I've got friendos coming by that not just try to cheer you up because, okay, you're in a bad mood, don't be that way, but are actually willing to be that shoulder or that ear for us to lean on or cry to, and then be like, okay, I understand, I listen, I'm hearing what you're saying, what can I do to help? Or do you want to just go straight to let's get you in a better mood kind of
See, and I like a lot of you guys, like you know, my close personal friends, it's like not even like, because I'm a big just put your head in the sand, let's just get drunk and have fun kind of person. And I like the fact that you guys respect that about me. Like, you're like, okay, cool, then let's just play something. We won't even talk about it, you know. And until I want to like open up and like start talking about it, like, okay, fine, fuck it, let's go play something. I don't give a shit. Like, let's go. And that makes me feel more comfortable because I'm not like real good at, because everyone tells me too honest, Aquino, back it down a notch. So I like have a tendency to like try to like hold people at bay. And sometimes I want that, just be there, you know, just be there. Like, that's all I need. And when I feel like it, or if I feel like it, I'll say some shit, trust me. But yeah. So I actually ended up we didn't even talk about the show. It was been 2 weeks, so we didn't even talk about the show before the show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, this is streaming video game adjacent, so it's important stuff to talk about.
100%. And mental health, like, is something like, my roommate, like, you know, I don't want to call him out or anything, but like, you know, I had said to a person that I'm talking to, like, really quickly in our like meeting that like I have a therapist and stuff, and he was like, "Ooh, don't do that." But I'm trying to go the other way with it, where it's like I'm trying to normalize it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, you know, I don't know. Go to therapy, motherfuckers. Like, it's good. It's good for you.
There's literally 100% nothing wrong with asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I agree. A therapist is a person that, okay, you went to them and said, help, I need help. And they're like, okay, fine. Describe what you're going through. Let me try and help you work through it. That is their job. And it is 100% okay.
And I think we should normalize it more. I think it should be completely cool to be like, I have a therapist. Like, I take medication for this. Like, I think that all those things, our generation and younger, should be getting rid of these like stigmatisms that the older generation kind of put upon us. That like, it's not normal. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you. Like, it is normal. Like, we're all going through the same thing, and you trying to downplay somebody's mental health is bullshit.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? Like, so I don't know.
Yep.
Also, I cut my eyebrow. So I did because of that stupid stream. Look, bam.
Yep.
Right there. Yep. Cleared it. Bam. Right there. I totally did it.
Nice.
Nope. Hey, if I promise something on stream, it will get done. That is for sure.
Okay.
Dragon, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate you so much. You're the best. Mustache dance. Bam, 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 bam. Haven't had to do that in a while.
Nice.
Moms. I have 9 things. You have mostly stuff from last week, right?
Yes, I mostly have stuff ready from that was ready for last week's show. So mine's probably older than yours.
That's great, because I just picked all shit from this week. Okay. So we probably won't have much overlap, which is fantastic.
Cool.
So here's the thing. I still have 9. Okay. Let's start with something breezy and kind of cool. How's that?
Sounds good.
Great. So at this most recent trade show, Street Fighter 6 had some playable stuff. We don't get to talk a lot about fighting games, but I want to talk about fighting games.
Hey, that's nothing wrong with them.
I appreciate you. It turns out that Street Fighter 6 is going to have perfect round win animations. So if you perfect someone, it will do a different your character will do a different animation than they normally would do.
Oh, okay.
So this has been in Street Fighter since 2. A lot of people don't remember that, but like if you melee rocked somebody in Street Fighter 2 with Sagat and you perfected them, he would cross his arms and look up and go, wah, 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 wah. So they've been doing this since way back in the day, but it's only certain characters. It's not everybody. So we're going to see how this 6 turns out. Ryu used to turn his back to the camera. Chun-Li used to do the peace sign and the giggle, which is beautiful, like little like character thing, you know? Like I love that shit. So it's cool, but the one that has been shown now is Luke, and he does this super fucking stupid like TikTok dance. Like, but I get it. He's kind of the TikTok generation. You know what I'm saying? He's young, like whatever. But I saw it and was like, I hope they do some like cool old school ones too. But it's cool to see, you know, that they're keeping on with the tradition, you know?
As far as your hope that they pull in some of the cool old ones too, I can pretty much guarantee you that I shouldn't say that. I can definitely see it being a DLC thing.
Well, so it's not, because this is literally Luke is a main character.
Yeah, I know.
So it's not gonna be a DLC thing. You mean additional
dances?
Oh, maybe. But again, it's not going to be free to play or anything, so probably not. Although, you know, they did fucking deals. They did fucking cosmetic up the shit out of 5. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that wouldn't. But at least, okay, let's just talk about it this way. Even if it was a DLC thing and it was, let's call it $1, you still got to perfect somebody to get him to pop that animation. Right. So at least it's earned. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so you pay him whatever $1, but then you still got to get it perfect on somebody. True. That to me, great, fine, whatever. That doesn't bother me at all. Except when, you know, it happens to me, and then I'm gonna be like, oh, fuck that guy. But like, I think that's cool, and I like, you know, because this is the first game that Yoshihiro Ono hasn't been there as like the flagship dude for 3 games now. So it's good to see that the lead producer and the lead designer, because they're kind of working in tandem to be like the face of 6. It's cool to see that they're respecting the roots, you know, and in their sense too. So I don't know, pretty cool. Yep. But we'll see. I'm sure I'll come and find some. I almost wish I had shown you, because that dance is just.
Yeah. I want to say I think I've seen something relating to that as far as the Street Fighter thing, but maybe I'm thinking of something else.
That's fair.
Probably thinking of something else.
Well, after you.
Alrighty. How about this? Elden Ring.
Oh my god, we're talking about Elden Ring again? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like 6 months.
Kind of.
Oh, Elden Ring adjacent.
Let Me Solo Her.
Oh.
Yes, okay. That dude, the guy, the iconic hero of Elden Ring.
Yep.
Squaresoft decided, okay, because you're such a legend in the game, we're gonna give you this bundle box, like this gift box. Squaresoft, or not Squaresoft.
No, I was gonna say that's.
Thank you.
Yeah, FromSoft. Okay.
Yeah, FromSoft was like, here, we're gifting you this Bandai Namco
official
gift box of merch, in which was a sword. You want to know the extent of like, hey, you're Let Me Solo Her, let's give you a sword. You want to know the detail that they went to? Here's generic looking longsword. Peace. It's like, dude, you're fucking Bandai Namco. You could have been like, okay, we're giving a sword to Let Me Solo Her. We should give him one of the two swords he freaking used.
Yeah. Or, you know what? Like, why don't, okay, it's the age of 3D printing and modeling. Get him his own personalized, 12-inch fig or something. And then, say, thanks for playing on it or something. And I know that was a little bit more expensive, but it's kind of lame to, like, lay it out, like,
compared to a sword? That probably would have been on par.
Right. Like, yeah, that's kind of a little weak. That's kind of a little weak.
Yeah.
I wish it had been something more personalized.
Yeah.
But again, it is hard to be like, full free shit, like from the company. Like, like that is also, true. I wonder how they found him.
I would assume he was making himself well known through Twitter and various other social medias.
That's true. I mean, I guess a little bit of PR research, you could probably find him. But that, I guess that is cute. That is cute, but it's kind of a weak side. Was it a normal? Was it like a real, like, life-size sword?
I am pulling it up right now.
If it's a replica and it's not a real life, that's like they just cheaped it out, is what happened.
Oh yeah.
If they did a real full replica sword,
that's it.
Okay. Oh, it says Rise Tarnish on it though. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's got like a book, like a scroll. Okay.
And this, by the way, is wood that has been like stained different pieces of types of wood that have been stained different amounts and.
Oh, the picture of Millennia or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, honestly, seeing all that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty cool. And honestly, I wonder if they were thinking that's your starter sword, because that's what it looks like to me.
Maybe.
Like that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
I wish I could see the note a little better. Yeah, that's actually okay. And here's the other thing, like, dude, you're the only person on the planet Earth who has that. Like, with how popular fucking Elden Ring is going to be, that thing is going to be so expensive in the future. Like, you could probably wait 10 years and sell that shit on eBay and make fucking a pretty decent mint off of it if you so desired. Or, literally, you do have something that no one else on planet Earth has. Like, that's pretty cool. I don't really understand the bag, or is that a cloak?
Well, this, from what I'm looking at here, this is the back of the Millennia wood carving. It's numbered 12/40. So there are 40 of those. 39 other of these.
That's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because that means that there's 39 other people that they found. Like, I'm sure the guy who always breaks down, like, the lore, I can't remember what his name is.
Vati?
Yes. I wonder if, like, Vati got one of these.
Probably.
Yeah, this is a pretty, okay, you know what? Actually seeing it IRL definitely makes it cooler.
I just find it a little that kind of like...
Well, think about it this way. Since we now know that there is 40 of them, they couldn't have done it individually for everybody.
Right.
Well,
okay. Back that up, though. We know that there are 40 of the wood carvings, not this whole gift box.
Right. But, I don't know. I would kind of assume if you were going to make one of these sets, that you would probably make 40 of them. Like, it is my guess. Also, I really wish I could read that fucking congratulations. Oh, look. They actually drew him next to congratulations. Like, that's his, like, dumb little helmet. You see how he's naked, like, in his underpants, and the helmet that he always wears?
I'm wondering where you're looking.
Like, so, in the packaging, there's the wood display, there's the scroll that's wrapped up with the red ribbon.
Yeah.
And then right next to it, there's that congratulations note.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if you look next to the word congratulations, somebody hand drew let me solo her next to it.
Yeah.
Like, that's cute. Yeah, that's pretty fucking cute. I don't know. I certainly can't hate on that. That's just too cute. Yeah. All right. Can you unwatch that? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time hating that. That's just very nice of them. I thought you were just saying that like they literally were just like, here's a sword. Like,
Well, I mean, again, we don't know how many total of these bundles ever went out. If this was the only one, to be honest, I would have been like, okay, cool, very cool. But it's like Bandai Namco, you could have stepped up a little bit more.
yeah, I doubt it. Like, that's
know.
just my assumption. Seeing the 1 of 40 thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Rise tarnished on the blade itself. Come on, like that's pretty fucking hype. That's pretty hype. Hopefully that set never gets broken up. That would be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, hey, let's talk more challenging shit. This is a perfect segue.
Sounds good.
So do you know who Charlie White is? Better known as Critical. He's a streamer on Twitch.
I think I've seen him before, but
he's got like really long hair to like here. It's really thin.
Doesn't really ring a bell.
Okay, he came from like World of Warcraft and shit, and now he's like this huge, amazing streamer. He's a really, really cool guy. I like him a lot. But he issued a challenge the other day to beat Halo 2 at the highest difficulty, legendary, without dying, and he will give you 20 grand. So
interesting.
Yeah. So there's like skulls in Halo, as we all know, right?
Yeah.
Basically, skulls are modifiers, so you could want to play the game more and more and more. Each one makes things more and more difficult. Less bullets in the clip, less fucking, armor, like no armor, I think is one.
Yep. No health regen.
No health regen. So this challenge is known as Lasso, Lasso. And it's legendary all skulls on, except for one. There's a caveat there, but doesn't really matter. Anyways, so this challenge has been around since Halo 2. But it's so fucking hard that like a few years ago is the first time that anybody started actually talking about actually beating it. A guy on Reddit put his story of how he finally beat this fucking challenge. But the caveat there is that it was over, it was high in triple digit deaths. Triple digit deaths.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Critical puts out this challenge to his like 8 squabillion fucking, and then the internet, of course, is like, oh, fuck yeah. But when he first started the challenge, he issued it for 5 grand. And then you have to do it live streaming, either on YouTube or Twitch. Has to be sent to him so that he can see the whole thing. He started watching the videos of everyone's attempts, and 99% of these attempts can't get through the first level.
Yeah, I believe it.
He himself tried it on stream a bunch of times last week. He can't get through the first couple of rooms. That's how fucking hard it is.
Oh yeah.
Which is crazy. So he saw how fucking hard it was once he started trying it, and he bumped it up from 5 grand to 20 grand. That's how much of a jump it had. Like, he saw how fucking hard it was. It was like, 5 grand's not gonna cut that shit. Gotta increase those numbers. Gotta pump that shit up. Basically, at the end of the day, now we have a new challenge floating around for a game that came out 23 years ago. I don't know. I can't
something like that. Yeah, easily.
Like Halo 2. But I love the idea of it, and honestly, even reading like what is going on, I actually also saw he made a video for YouTube, and it was like, "Just come take my money" was the name of the video. And then I watched it, and I was like, "Whew, man!" Even I kind of want to take a stab at it, like just to see how truly hard it really is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah. And on top of it, you also have to beat the game and collect all the skulls before you can even start
Yeah.
Because you have to locate all those skulls. I mean, granted, you could just go on a fucking YouTube, you know, blah, 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 but it's still time consuming before you even get to the fucking starting area.
Yep. So that's definitely not an easy feat in and of itself.
Still have to beat the whole fucking game before you can even start.
Yep. The thing I'm curious of with this is how stringent are the rules as far as, okay, you must play the intended path.
What do you mean?
There's a lot of speedrun tactics in that game that are like, oh, hey, I'm just going to go out of bounds here and then come back inbounds like 2 inches in front of the stage clear.
I mean, like, first of all, it has to be done on the Xbox. So way less, like, you can't, like, no clip through shit, right? It's on the Xbox. Yes, I'm sure that would help. But, dude, again, he issued this challenge 2 weeks ago to the internet. And no one has even come close to a point where he had to raise the bounty. I wouldn't be surprised if next week we were to have this show and he has to raise it to like fucking, I don't know, $30,000-$40,000 to see if anyone could fucking do it. Because the one guy who actually did this challenge back in the day, he has a high level of trip. That means he has more than 500 deaths. This whole run is to do a lasso run with 0 deaths.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. This is going to be something that is going to be completely mind-blowing.
That's absurd.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I, if it was me, if I was fucking critical, I'd be like, hey, yeah, if you can, like, on Xbox, if you find some exploits and shit, like, okay, cool, go for it. I don't care. Like, you know, because all that's doing is just shaving some of the insane difficulty off this challenge. That's all it's doing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'd be like, fucking, you know, go for it. As long as you're not cheating, I don't care. Like, if you're using in-game exploits to basically speedrun certain sections, whatever, because you're still gonna have to fucking have the skill and time to make it through this POS. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, yeah.
With 0 deaths. With zero deaths.
Yeah.
Like, I can't beat legendary with 0 deaths.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
sounds nutty? Yes, definitely. That is for certain there, Blue.
Hi again, Blue.
Alrighty. That all on that, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Because we were running out. Wait, what? Why does my stream say I've only been streaming for 2 minutes? That's very weird.
Because Twitch is weird?
This is Streamlabs.
Maybe.
Yeah, and my ads. And my ad is restarting in 37 seconds. It, like, legit just, like, cut. You think it cut out? Oh, Dragon says it cut out.
Yeah.
Huh.
That
okay,
sounds like
you
something
suck, Twitch. Alright, well, whatever. Guess this is gonna be a 2-parter. That's annoying. Whatever. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to chat.
Gee, thanks, man.
Who's got 2 middle fingers and doesn't give a shit? Oh! Sorry. Go ahead.
Man, it's really funny that you say that, and it's kind of like I'm looking at 2 of the ones that I was contemplating about bringing up. But you know what? We'll pivot over to this one instead. GDQ, SGDQ just recently wrapped up.
We did overlap, didn't we?
On this one, I highly doubt it.
Okay, go for it.
But they just wrapped up 2 weeks ago. It was the first week of July. During one of the runs, specifically the Metal Gear Rising Revengeance DLC. Okay, you did have this one. Sorry.
I got a bunch of stuff for it. Oh, it's okay. I got a bunch of stuff for it, so that's cool. Okay. Go for it.
The Metal Gear Rising Revengeance DLC run on GDQ by Mecharazium. I know I'm mispronouncing that name, and honestly, I don't care.
Actually, no, it is Mecharazian.
I
saw,
okay.
Yep, Mecharazian. I saw a video on it after I started looking at this.
Okay, yeah. I watched the run. But yeah, I don't care if I mispronounce his name because of what he did. Specifically, he did not only the DLC run, but the actual core game. The core game he played, he did that live. The DLC run, which was a bonus run, it was a bonus incentive actually, that during his run, chat and people there and anyone donating had to donate a total of $25,000 to get him to
I didn't know it was that much.
Yeah. To get him to do the DLC run. And his core game run was only about an hour long.
Yeah, it's not a long game.
Yeah, so they had an hour to raise $25,000, and they did it. Here's the thing that really pisses people off now that it's come to light.
Well, explain what came to light before you start fucking...
Okay. The DLC run was not live. And that's the thing that really pisses people off. After the run, he told GDQ staff and the people that were in the Discord from GDQ that it was not a live run. It was a recording that he had ran previously, blah, blah, blah.
Recorded segmented.
Yes, I was just going to mention that as well. Not segmented. Just any ordinary recorded run, but a recorded perfect segment run. So basically, he tried to do these little bits over and over and over to get them as perfect as possible, and then splice them all together, which in the speedrunning world basically means you're going to give up on speedrunning right then and there.
So there is categories for segmented runs. Like, let's be honest, there are. But the real fuck up here was that he was presenting it, the Blade Wolf DLC, because he ran the entire game live.
Yes.
He did run that, and it was good. It was a good run. Good time, actually, even. But when he started the Blade Wolf run, the first things that people started becoming suspect of was when he was playing the main game, they could hear his mechanical keyboard.
Yep. And during
DLC, oddly silent. Then there was a moment, and I saw it, I went and I looked, where so Blade Wolf, you're playing as the dog from Revengeance. You're not playing Raiden, the big robot, ninja. You're playing the dog, the little dog assistant. There's a segment where he was looking around and his hand came up and did something basically like that, and then he put it back down. But the video, the dog was still looking around. Look is on your mouse.
Yep. So
there's no way he could have done both those things. Yeah.
Right.
So that was the first thing that made it a little sus. Then, while he was talking about it, once it was beaten, he said accidentally, this is like a total Freudian slip, the video I have made for you here. Literally, he said the video that I have made for you here. Again, Freudian slip. That's a Freudian slip.
Yeah.
So the thing that's I didn't know it was 25 grand. That's a lot of money to make in like 2 hours. That is a lot of money to make.
1 hour.
1 hour. And it makes, it does go to a good cause. It was Doctors Without Borders this year, I believe. So that's really cool, at the very least. Because, charity money, at least with GDQ, goes to the proper places. So we can at least, say that. But after the run, people started questioning it, like, I don't know, like a day or two afterwards. And then he went on to Twitter and put this big twitlonger out that he was trying to shine a light on the speedrunning community and that people should question more things with it. Now, here's like the real thing that made me mad. Because again, okay, that's fucking stupid. Because he was remote playing from his house. The thing that really for me is shit is that like that throws all remote play runs under so much more scrutiny.
It's a trap.
Yes.
Because, like, I don't even care. Like, again, do I believe him that he was trying to do this as like a poignant point? Like, you know, oh, not everyone is honest. We all know that. We know that there's been cheaters in the speedrun community. There's cheaters in everything, you know? And these motherfuckers usually get caught eventually.
Yep.
But to have him during that DLC Blade Wolf run, he was like faking it to the point where he was like, okay, all I gotta do here is aggro this guy and then go over to here and then we jump up here and then we grab this. Like, he was commentating it like he was doing it live. And honestly, part of it was kind of well done, which means, like, so the thing that really sucks shit about that is, like, yes, okay, maybe you made some points, but he had to plan far enough ahead to get this run spliced multiple times. There is no fucking way that this was just like a, oh, ha ha ha, troll thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it feels like somebody's trying to backpedal, right?
Yep. Yeah, definitely. But on top of that, on top of everything so far, for starters, as far as his run of the DLC, I don't know if also his core game run, they have been stricken from GDQ Twitch history as well as their YouTube channel. They have been completely deleted off there.
Yeah.
And
from the boards.
Yeah, and I totally back them on those decisions as far as GDQ and I'm assuming speedrun.com. The one thing that is absolute shit in my opinion that he did, he, like we've said, made this video. And then come the end of it, he's sitting here like, oh my god, 30 seconds of a below world record? It's like, no, you knew it was that much. Don't fucking play dumb.
Did you also see his reaction? Like, so after that, he was like, just let you know, there's like probably a bunch of people out there who like have had faster records. And like, he went on for like, let's call it like a minute. Like saying that like, oh, well, you know, there's probably faster people out there. And like, because in the, in his like whole Jim Jam, he was saying like, in his twit longer, he was saying like, oh, we should have maybe more attention put to smaller runners and all this shit. And I'm like, is this the way you want to bring this up? Like deceiving a huge group of people, doing something for a charity? Like, dude, what? Like, that's not the way to have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way to have that conversation is to have that conversation on your own streams or on Twitter, not to deceive a huge charity organization and all these people who are throwing money to watch you try to run that DLC. Like, it's just, everything about it just feels like false. And he's like, oh, I'm throwing away everything for this. I guarantee there's still going to be people who watch him stream, like, you know, and doing speed runs and stuff. Like, that's just the nature of the gig.
Yeah.
But like, that's frustrating. Like, and again, I don't want to harp on it, but I kind of want to harp on it. Let's say you get to go to GDQ next year, but right before you were supposed to fly out, you ended up getting COVID. So they okay you to remote play your stream. This bullshit might not allow that to happen now. You know what I'm saying? Like, people who aren't able to make it or don't have the money to go, who could have just streamed it live, like, he's basically victimizing some speedrunners.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Like, that's fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It's so frustrating, dude.
Oh,
it's so frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact, taking some, like, fucking holier than thou attitude, like,
yeah,
man, put a dick in your mouth, dude. Like that's fucked up.
His whole rationale for the reasons why he did what he did are complete bullshit.
That's kind of what I felt too.
Yeah.
And I read the whole twit longer, and I was like, and he was like, and I will not be filling in the gaps. I won't be connecting all the dots. Like basically saying, so what I did was for some grandiose reason, but I'm not going to explain it because you're all too stupid to see what's going on in the speedrunning community. Like, dude, what the fuck? And I don't know if you saw this, but after GDQ ended, he put up another top score for the original game again on speedrunners, and they're still allowing it. And it was a minute and a half faster than his original run. Now I can't trust that either.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all you've done is less legitimize the entire fucking field. And like, let's call a spade here. Speedrunning communities are already small. You know, for each individual game. Like, if you look at the totality of speedrunning, it's a huge community. It's a huge community.
Oh yeah.
But if you look at each individual game, like, this dude just kind of besmirched the entire community of fucking Revengeance.
Yep.
Like, what a dick.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Pompous prick.
Hmm.
You got anything else?
Nope, not on that.
Okay. So let's talk something boring because we haven't talked something boring yet. I know. Well, I say boring. It's only boring to like everyone else, but it's not boring to you and I. So that's nice.
Yeah.
An action. Let's get boring. God, I love you. I love you so much. An action filed. Give me that hype. That hype in the chat. An action filed in the U.S. Western District Court of Washington, and the latest spree of legal bullshit that is coming out of Bungie has finally hit. They are suing a dude named Luca Leone. I'm assuming it's Leone because it looks French. It's got an E at the end. So, they are accusing him of habitually violating Destiny 2 limited software agreement. Their EULA, basically. Their user agreement. So, let's start at the beginning here. This fucking shitlord has been banned over a dozen times for live streaming the game while using cheat software. Destiny 2. Yep, we're going to talk some Destiny 2, baby.
And I'm not bringing it up.
And right, and it is me, like, which could be like the first time this has ever happened. He has been live streaming him using cheating software, both aimbots and walls. He was also allegedly selling Destiny 2 emblems, including ones that were possibly from stolen accounts, which is crazy. I hope that they get further into that because I kind of was like, oh shit, man, this guy's like stealing accounts. Okay. So, but then this fucking egregious piece of absolute dog shit human went on to put a picture up on Twitter with a hashtag new profile pic, linked to his account, Inkcell. Like Incel? What a fucking wow. I hate this dude already. Like fucking much. I want to punch him in his fucking cock. So on May 18th, he put this new profile pic on Twitter. It was the community manager for Destiny 2, Damage04, DMG04, that's his handle, with his employee badge. He somehow found an image of the fucking community manager's badge, and he put it on his own Twitter. Here's the worst part. So the way that they found this too was they backtracked where the email came from. Very good stuff, Bungie. This one I'll actually give you. Good stuff. Yeah. With this as the words, I just realized I'll be moving to a place that's 30 minutes away from DMG, Damage, the community manager. He is not safe.
Oh my.
Dude, what the fuck? So he finds a picture of the dude's badge. Then he tells him that he's moving 30 minutes away from him, and then says that he's not safe. Dude, his name is Luca Leone. And dude, fucking Alexis is saying that she loves him, that she loves Damage. So his name's Luca Leone, Leone or Ne. Yeah, that's right. So then on July 4th, a Twitter user asked anyone in the Seattle area if they were available to commit arson within the next 72 hours. Leone responded by volunteering, and I quote, "If it's at Bungie headquarters, you get a discount, by the way. Keep its doors locked, cause I'm coming."
Wow, sounds like someone's about to get
DMG.
arrested.
Okay, so it's DMG, it's not Damage. I just assumed because it was all put together it was Damage. It's actually DMG. And thank you for that, by the way. So now he's going to court. I would also like to put this out there that I 100% support this. Like, fuck this dude.
Oh god.
Fuck this dude.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
So Bungie is asking the court for $150,000 in damages. It is also requesting that Leone gets blocked from harassing, stalking, or otherwise engaging with unwanted or unsolicited contact with Bungie, its employees, or Destiny 2. So basically Bungie is like, I mean, seriously, like look at the amount of things this fucking piece of shit has done, right? Like, so he breaks the rules of the game and flaunts it by streaming it. Mm-hmm. He goes on to take personal information from their community manager. Then he takes a picture of his badge. Then he says, I'm less than 30 minutes away from that guy, and he's not safe. What the fuck? Like, this dude's a fucking lunatic.
Plus, also, don't forget the simple fact of he literally publicly said to the world, hey, let's go commit arson at Bungie headquarters.
On another person's thread. That arson thing, like, the police were looking into that, like, because and by the way, hey, if you're looking to commit arson, don't go to Twitter to look for an arsonist.
Yeah, if you're going to do any illegal crime, don't put it on social media. It's
don't go to
Craigslist.
No-brainer, you know?
But at the same point in time, we have many people doing that, so...
Right. So, the only other thing that, like, is a huge note here, it's interesting. So the ink got dried for the Sony purchase of Bungie as of last week. And now this week is when Bungie hits up the US Western Court to sue this piece of shit. And I gotta tell you, dude, as two dudes who don't exactly love fucking big business practices, fuck this guy.
Oh, God.
Like, legitimately fuck this guy. He is harassing someone who's just trying to do their fucking job, who clearly loves, Destiny 2 and whatever. Like, and I hold no love for that game, but that dude's just trying to do his job. And this guy is fucking straight up calling out, harassing, and swatting him almost. You know?
Yeah, pretty much. Hope he gets his ass incarcerated and fucked by Bubba too.
Right? Yeah. Like, legitimately. And afterwards, I hope they still get the $150,000 out of him. Like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Like, be goddamn respectful, humans.
Definitely.
Yeah. I just thought that was interesting.
Okay.
So,
yeah, it definitely is interesting.
It is. And you know what? We need less of these people in our gaming community. Like, anyone who's this fucking fucked up, to be honest. But, like, petty, and this is one of the reasons I won't say anything like specifically, but like one of my friends works in community management, and she had to leave a position because of the amount of harassment that she got from the community that she was trying to represent and help. Like, what the fuck? What is wrong with people? Anyways, question, did you hear about the Destiny dev that got death threats over saying a piece of armor isn't going to come back? Yeah, I did hear that. And again, that's fucking insane. Like, if your life is so entangled in a video game that you're willing to like send a death threat, which legit is a felony to someone over that.
Yep.
Dude, you got to take a step back. Therapy again. We come back to the go to therapy.
Oh yeah.
I got to take a slash. What are you going to talk about so I know?
Well, until you were going to take a slash, I was going to bring up a handful of good ones, but now I'm going to try and find a boring one.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Ubisoft pulling the plug on pulling the plug on 15 games online multiplayer.
Yeah, you know what? I still got some thoughts on this. So
okay.
I'll go take a slash and I'll come back quick.
I'll draw it out for you. Storm Shield, welcome. How you doing, Rob? Hope things are going well for you. Welcome to the Tuesday talk show. But yeah, Ubisoft is going to be pulling the plug on 15 of their online multiplayer games, or at least the support for the 15 online multiplayer games. I'm not going to go through the full list, but I do have a full list, and I'm actually getting it right now. I'm going to throw it in both our chats just because, you know what? Sharing the information to people is a good thing. Yes, I want to share the link. I'm the person putting the link in my own channel. Why is that so bad? Jeez. Silly bot. Oh well. But yeah, unfortunately, this does raise a lot of questions as to what is Ubisoft's definition of online support kind of for some of these games, because some of them there's multiplayer DLC that in order to play it you have to be in multiplayer games, and it's like, well, what about this DLC that I literally paid money for? Also the simple fact of there's DLC that it's not online multiplayer, but how is that going to impact people being able to not only buy, but then download this DLC for some of these games too? There's no clear-cut answer to any of it, unfortunately, which I kind of feel is Ubisoft being, hey, we're going to throw the bathtub out, and oh, by the way, someone was still using it. Oops,
some of these babies might get spilled too.
Yeah. Oh well, we don't care. We'll figure out something later.
So, no, Siege isn't on that list, and stop being rude to one of my favorites. I think that I understand where they're coming from for a lot of these. Yeah. I wish that, like, if you wanted to do this, make a mega mix thing, like where, like, because okay, for me, I stopped playing Assassin's Creed because they took out the multiplayer. There was only 3 games that had multiplayer, and then immediately after I was like, I'm out. Like, I like no multiplayer. I'm out. I really like that multiplayer. Same with Splinter Cell. I think Splinter Cell is a fantastic multiplayer game. And the fact that they're just kind of like chucking everything, like not everything, but like, and again, we are talking again, this makes it sound a little old, but it's 2 generations back. These are 360 titles in some cases, you know? Yeah. So, like, I don't know. Like, at what point do you value server cost, even though it's relatively cheap to run a server? You know, you still have to have your own server, then you have to pay for the electricity for the server. And if it's just not seeing any sort of action, like, I mean, if Ubisoft was running my dick, they'd probably turn that off too.
Knowing Ubisoft, yes.
That dick has seen no action. This man needs top. Like, but like, you know, I would understand. I was like, yeah, okay, this server hasn't seen a lot of action in like 6 years or whatever. So I kind of get it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know, whatever. And it's not like fucking Ubisoft is like fucking knocking out bangers constantly lately. The last couple of games they've had,
True. Yeah.
not exactly blowing the world's like panties off.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to hear something? Okay, so this is. Do you have anything else to say on this? Because otherwise, I want to move to my next one.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm just gonna quick mention though, I have an ad coming in about minute 44. So if you're not subscribed, easiest way to get rid of them is to sub if you want. If not, that is perfectly fine too. Enjoy the commercials.
I don't know where mine is because Twitch just bag of shit and completely fucked up my timer. So
Nice.
it may or may not be. I don't know. Maybe 30 minutes. Okay, might be 30 more minutes. So that'd be cool. All right. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so this is actually something that's really great. I am absolutely shocked as I was reading this article. I was like, really? So, Skate 4 has been announced. It's not going to be called Skate 4. It's called skate.com, I think. And that could be its development name. It might not be. Is going to be Skate, the game, about skateboarding that I know and love. Had 3 games. It's going to be free to play. It's going to have microtransactions only. It's not going to affect like anything in the game. But the game actually leaked a really early version. Like one where when I saw the video, there's not even like textures and shit. It's like no, they're like it's like green or white or pink,
So placeholder texture, if anything.
Yes, that's exactly right. But the animations look good. I'm assuming they must have taken a bunch from the originals, the original 3, because it looks like it plays okay. So, a community of modders has come together and they created multiplayer servers for it. So right now, if you're into the Skate series and you want to play online, you can do so. This community has made a server where you can go play this super early alpha version and you can go play it. So I instantly read that and went, oh, EA is going to come down with the fucking hammer. Like, a hammer that's the top of it is just shaped like the tip of a dick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just fucking everything in its path.
Nice.
But, yeah. But here's the funny thing. All the devs have said so far is just to please be careful if you download this, because you don't know whenever you go to download something. I don't know why I'm giving the internet 101 speech here, but you don't know what you're actually getting, right? Like when something says a file name, you don't actually know what it is, which is crazy. So the modders, again, they don't have a name or anything, which is a little interesting. They're just like right now they're just being called the modders. There is one guy that I do know his name, but anyways, I'm going to go into this a little bit deeper. The modders said that EA has been pretty chill towards them so far, to the point where the only thing they really said has been don't post screenshots or videos. We don't mind if you leave the servers up. If people want to come and check it out super early, that's fine, but don't put up videos or photos. Which for EA, again, we're talking about Electronic Arts here.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty impressive.
That's super chill.
Now wait, there's more. Swap. We had, this is a direct quote from a modder named Crush. We had an EA mod join in the server at one point, and I talked to him personally, and he said they weren't bothered. It's totally fine, and they don't want anyone to get hurt by falsified downloads. But if you guys, as this small community, want to keep doing this, want to keep these servers up so that people can enjoy what we've done so far, you're more than willing to do so. Crush is working with a friend to release a version of the game called Skate.online, and it claims that as they are all modders, he's going to be able to get it up and running for multiplayer even with just this early ass version. I wouldn't be surprised with how cool Crush and how cool the Skate team is being about this if that dude might not end up getting hired.
Yeah.
If he can make this early ass build run for multiplayer,
Yeah.
Dude, Valve does that shit all the time. Like,
God, yeah.
EA has done that before.
Mhm.
So yeah, like super weird. What are you up to, EA? Why are you being suspiciously cool? like
Well, see, my brain is immediately sitting here going, okay, EA's being nice, Nintendo's hiding around the corner and being like, quick, we must kill somebody.
they're like the devil on the shoulder at this point. Like
Exactly.
Nintendo. But like I'm like literally utterly shocked.
Yeah.
Because that's super cool. Like of a dev team to be like, and to even have one of your dev dudes join the modder group
Mm-hmm.
and be personally like, hey, just be cool, be respectful. And if they continue to do that, like where it's like, don't post videos, don't post photos, but the game's out there. And if you want to play it out of love for skate, because I got to tell you, I can still do a hard flip in my sleep. Like that's how much fucking skate I played in my life.
Okay.
So like,
Cool.
I was actually thinking, oh, if he gets that multiplayer up and running, like, I might actually stream that. But I couldn't stream it.
Yeah.
Because they don't want photos and videos. But that's dope as fuck. That's the coolest thing that EA has done in like an eon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to bring that up. I thought that was refreshing. From a company as big as EA, that's refreshing.
Yeah.
Normally all we're ever doing here is talking shit about all these big companies. Yes, 100% golf clap. 100% golf clap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty great. Man, we need more major companies to be cool like that. Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
But that's it. You can go for the next one.
Alrighty. You know what? I'm going to talk about this one. It is the quote unquote. It involves the forbidden topic. So, bracing yourself at the moment.
Does it have 3 letters in it? And I'm going to be mad that you brought this up.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Okay.
I'm saying brace yourself because it's actually in a positive light. Believe it or not.
Go for it.
Positive light.
All right. Make it quick. Let's pull this Band-Aid off.
Okay. Last week, I believe it was, there was the Brazil hosted their International Games Festival.
I did see this.
Yes,
I did see this.
Yes, this is a good forbidden topic thing.
This is good. This is funny.
During which there was a I do actually have the article open here. During which there was a presenter for a panel which was about the future of game design. The guest speaker for it was a developer by the name, and I'm probably going to butcher it, so I apologize, Mark Venturelli. For those of you who don't know, he helped make Chroma Squad.
Mm-hmm.
And the first few seconds, he started talking about the future of game design, which realistically is a very valid thing to talk about at International Game Festival.
And has been talked about ad nauseum.
Yes.
Frankly.
Yes. But after that first few seconds, he kind of said, fuck you, I'm going that way, you're all coming with me. And said, here, let me present this slideshow about why NFTs are a nightmare.
And are total garbage.
Here's the funny thing. After he presented this, like the first slide, which was titled Why NFTs Are a Nightmare,
yep,
the room broke out in a full unanimous applause.
Did you see the video for it?
Yes, I did. Which
I did too. And like literally the guy's like sitting in the front row and he pans like all the way back and everyone's like, yeah.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
Which I will also say, the video in the article, it's in Portuguese.
Yes,
Portuguese is the national official language of Brazil. It's very understandable. I don't speak Portuguese. I can't translate it. Sorry.
So I do know a bunch of stuff that he said. So basically, the biggest thing that he harped on, like his top point, was how ecologically fucking garbage blockchain is, and that how it wastes a ton of power.
Yep.
The things that we usually try not to talk about around here because it bores the fucking tits off people.
Yes.
His next point was that every major game developer is trying to push towards this to make them more money, to make you, the player, have to make this into your second new job, because they will try to frame it in a way that you could earn something that could make you a lot of money if you put more hours in. That was his two major points, which, again, we have been harping on this since, let's call it, like October of last year, September of last year. But I love this story even more because I don't know if you know this part. So he was there to do that segment for another company, but he didn't tell the company that he had changed the entire fucking thing. So he doesn't tell them. He told the guys who were running the show, the Brazilian show, he alerted them. He said, I'm changing the topic of my conversation. And because again, this is like, think about it like a small E3 or an expo. The people who are running the show said, yeah, man, it's your minute in the spotlight. You want to go talk shit about this? Go. That is fucking top. Not only did he give a middle finger to the company who like brought him there, but the guys who were running the show were like, yeah, fuck that shit. Let's talk about this. That was amazing. Like, that is genuinely, and seriously, like I don't want to like make it, I don't want to over dramatize it, but like that dude kind of put his career at risk to do something like that.
Oh yeah.
Like legitimately, like a bigger company might never trust that dude again to do a presentation like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, dude, that level of punk rock, you don't get to see that in the video game industry very often.
Oh yeah.
And man, I love that dude.
Well,
just because of that.
Here's the one thing that really stuck out at me as far as his presentation. First off, the company that brought him there was a crypto company. So he pissed off.
That was not in their best. Yeah, it was not in his best interest to fucking piss in their fucking face.
Yeah, and also to kind of add a little bit more light to the situation, it wasn't them bringing him there in person. It was them bringing him there remotely through Discord, Zoom, whatever. He pissed them off to the point of they wanted to interrupt his presentation and like pull the plug. And the guys running the show were like, "Get the fuck out of here, dude! You don't belong." No.
So and that's like, go ahead.
The one quote I will say that is the big thing that stuck out in my head. These people are outsiders. They're not important. They're just trying to buy relevance because they have no actual influence over the future of our industry. If you want to give them this space uncontested, you're just, if you're going to give them this space uncontested, you're just giving them exactly what they want and buying their narrative that they're relevant. And he is the entire time is sitting here just bad-mouthing NFTs and saying, fuck you, I don't care if you brought me here. If you're paid my way, you're a crypto company, you're horrible. Period. End of story.
I legitimately, like, now again, this is Alex Queen of the guy, like the punk rock designer guy. I fucking love that dude. I want to have a beer with that dude. I want to fucking talk shit on all these like fucking garbage poo-poo ass fucking like movements that the entire industry has had. That is so fucking metal. That is so metal. Like, and you know what? Again, it bored the tits off of two people. Already left my chat. I get it. Like, I totally do. I legitimately do. Yeah. But the fact that like this is what we're going through now as like gamers, and to do something this like public facing and to be like, seriously, suck my dick, all of this is bullshit, like, is amazing. I love this guy. First round is on me. Like, let's just put it that way. First round's on me. That guy is awesome.
I'll tell you right now, I have a feeling he's not buying his own beer for a long time.
I'm sure not. At every industry event. And I'm sure even if he did get fucking cucked by like bigger like Brazilian companies, there's going to be a ton of small indie. Dude, I would welcome that dude with open arms to too many. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is so bombastically badass. Like, without a hint of pretension, too. Without a hint of pretension. He wasn't saying, my way is right because of my viewpoint. He was saying this is fucked up because they're just trying to edge into our space and take it over in the way that they can see financially best for them.
Yep.
That is so fucking metal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God. Like, I hope that I get to be that metal at some point in my life. This isn't John Romero telling us all that we're going to be his bitch. You know what I'm saying? This was a guy standing up for what he believes in at a conference that he could have thrown his career away. And he was still like, I'm still doing it. I don't give a shit. Like,
yep.
I hope that I hope that he explained to his significant other that he was doing this, because that is a risky ass play.
Oh God, yeah.
But I do love the shit out of him. Like, I legitimately love the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
So I have something that is kind of similar, but kind of not. So
okay, I'm wondering if it's one that I have, but go.
Okay. Well, I guess I could do. No. Let's just do it. Fuck it. All right. So I was curious about this because there's this guy. His name is Loki. He's a huge fan of the Souls series. Do you know what I'm talking about here yet? No, not yet. Okay. So this is an interesting story because I'm wondering how it goes. Anyways, let me do it. Okay. So he is one of those dudes who loves the Souls series, and he's like one of those huge lore guys, like deep dives the fuck out of the lore, because Souls games don't just give you lore. You got to really dig
piece things together. Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or go to someone who's willing to put in that amount of work to find that lore. And then you still have to view content that someone has created to give you like the, okay.
Yep.
So,
the interpretations of everything. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. So, this dude, Loki, he's also, I don't know why they put this in the article, but he's also a fluent Japanese speaker. I'm assuming they did that because the variance between
translations,
right, the Japanese and English on are always going to be a little different. Anyways, he has been digging through the Souls series for almost 10 years now, and he is making an actual hard-covered version of the lore of the Souls games. Unofficially, he is publishing these fucking... Now, I'm going to share something because I want you guys to see this, because I was like genuinely like, holy shit. Let's do this first.
Oh goody, more show and tell time. Yay!
I do love show and tell. Why are we... Okay. Oh, because I'm not here, big dummy. Professional. And that. I guess I really could have done that ahead of time. It's fine. You're so smart.
Oh well.
Yeah, whatever.
It's all fun and games.
It is. So I want to show this because it's so interesting. Fuck out of here. God damn, I hate Kotaku. Ugh. God. This is why you people should come here. Because that way you don't ever have to see Kotaku ever.
Yeah.
All right. So, boop. So this is the actual set that he is selling. Here, I'll maximize it. Boop. There is 2 huge hardbound books that come in its own hardbound case. You can see Lordaeron map behind it. And what he is selling is his interpretation of all of the Dark Souls lore in this beautiful 2-volume set, almost like an encyclopedia. Let me show you a little bit more into it. This is a random page. Look how fucking nice this is. This is the map again. Dude, I run D&D. My maps don't look this good. Like, I'm just gonna put it out there. Anyways, and he's doing it not for profit. He's doing it for the love of the series. But I gotta say, I'm astounded at how nice the visuals of the book is. I was thinking, I went and I looked. Right now, I think they said it was $55 for the set. I think I might pick this up. That's pretty awesome. I don't know if I'd read it all, because the books are huge. Each one is like 400 and something pages.
Wow.
they also come with you know, when like a nice book has like a like a bookmark, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got all that, like really, really dope. And this dude is just doing it for the fucking love of doing it. I think that is amazing. I think that we should laud that shit. Here, actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it in the chat too, just in case you guys
Okay, cool.
think more into it. So there's the link. I absolutely love the idea that there is this dude Loki who is going out of his way to just hype up a thing he loves. He didn't create this. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't work on this game. He just knows a shit ton about it, and he knows that people love the lore, so he's gonna make this unofficial thing. Now, let's talk about the other side of this coin. Is Bandai Namco, because that article was on Kotaku. Is Bandai Namco gonna find out about this and fucking kibosh this whole goddamn thing? And then make their own version?
Well,
because
I will say this, of all the people who have put out their understandings, interpretations, blah 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 of Dark Souls lore, and like not just the little slivers, but the whole thing, Miyazaki has come out and said numerous times no one has fully explained the entire lore of Dark Souls.
That's fair, but here's my thought. Minecraft, FNAF have just to pick two. I'm just picking two.
Yeah.
Have official lore books. Now, I don't think FromSoft would maybe kibosh this, but the publisher, Bandai Namco, could smell blood in the water here.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, could you argue that this is like fair trade kind of a thing, like YouTube? You know what I'm saying? Because like when you put out something on YouTube, as long as you add your own spin to it, your own personalization. So if I show Dragon Ball Z, but then I make Dragon Ball Z abridged, where I overdo all the voices. Yes, I'm showing the visuals of Dragon Ball, but Funimation has fought them tooth and nail. But in all honesty, the storyline is completely different. The guys at Team 4-Star made something original out of your original content.
Yeah.
Like, so you could say that, like, well, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I would argue that no, you're right. It's all it's a personal opinion, and nobody has found all of it correctly.
Right.
So this is a big guess. But if Bandai Namco sees that there's money to be made here, and them putting out their own 2-volume book set and explaining everything, you know, that's where my concern lies, I suppose. I guess the way I should say it.
Yeah. Because I mean, one could kind of argue what he's put together is a book form of MST3K.
Yes. Right.
But yeah, the whole legal gray area is okay with him charging the $55 for it. That's the part that I kind of agree with you that Bandai Namco would not be okay with. FromSoft, I can see them being like, oh, okay, cool,
whatever.
You love our stuff that much, awesome.
But
cool.
Publishers, not so much.
Yeah,
publishers see dollar signs, and that's usually what wins the argument. And I think that's the biggest problem with AAA development, is that you have to get in bed with a publisher if you're going to make a game that's, let's even call it $200 million. Like an individual company is going to be able to fucking look at a company like Platinum Games, who has been doing stellar work for 100 gajillion years, but they still need publishers to make even AA games. And this is coming from a guy who loves Platinum, but you could still argue they're not a AAA developer. Like EA can make their own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to have so much money to make a game at that level and then self-publish it. I don't know. That's my only like real concern with this. But I really hope that nothing goes wrong and we don't have to report about it again like 3 months down the road when I have to go, so you remember when I was talking about that guy Low Key who had that amazing fucking volume set?
Yeah, that would not be cool.
No, and that's part of the reason why I kind of want to put the money down right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because Loki said he's not really trying to do this for the money. He's trying to cover the publishing cost and the making cost of it. But it'd be dope to have that on your bookshelf. You know what I'm saying? Even if I never fucking read it, that's just a cool collectible, you know? From an independent person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Very much so.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I'm gonna bypass this one. I don't even know if I want to bring this up because it's more of the forbidden topic.
No more forbidden topic.
Yeah. Especially considering
why it is forbidden.
It's not in a cool light either. So that's even
No.
that is. Instead, we're gonna go with this. E3. Since COVID, unfortunately, they've kind of disappeared. Well, good news. The company that does the organization for PAX, ReedPop, they are taking over the organization of E3.
I have thoughts.
I do too, and my first thought I'm going to lead with is it too little too late? I mean, Sony, Microsoft, Bethesda, Nintendo, everybody's proven these past few years. Why do we really need E3? We can do our own smaller ones. And
keep going. I'm trying to hold it back. I'm trying my best.
Go for it. If you want to jump in, dude.
Okay. So I was do you know who Yahtzee Kershaw is?
Yeah, who doesn't?
Zero punctuation?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. A lot of people, Rich. Not everyone is as lame as we are. So let's get it straight. So the guy who does zero punctuation, his name is Yahtzee Kershaw. He does another show. He does zero punctuation every Wednesday, and it's like a 5-minute reviews of different games and topics and stuff. But he has another show that's called Extra Punctuation. And on it, like, basically it's more freeform. He doesn't do the character of Yahtzee. He just talks. He just talks about stuff. He had an interesting take 2 weeks ago about this, because that's when this got announced. And I kind of feel like I agree with him. So basically his thought is this. E3 started as an everyone can come event, right? Mm-hmm. Publishers, developers, normie regos.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. Everybody can go. It's always a huge pain in the ass. It's a week-long event. Mm-hmm. Everybody from developers, like even down to the scrubbos. It's a huge event. It's at the LA Convention Center. It holds like 125,000 people in a single convention center. What the fuck with that number? That's like more than like my old city. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but he made an interesting point because I have always wanted to go to E3 because I started as a scrubbo, like I always wanted to go to E3, because it is other than Gamescom, the one thrown in Germany, it was the biggest video game convention on the planet. Like, period in a statement.
Yep.
So it's interesting to me that his thoughts were, look, if we're going to bring back E3, maybe we should do it in a new light where it's just people in the industry, no public. Because the public, yes, obviously we want to show the public stuff. I have this cigarette has gone out like 14 times. All right, I'm just gonna put it down. I'm just gonna let it go. Anyways, the public doesn't help. Like, it's cool to meet everyone. Like, I've done a couple of conventions. It's really cool to meet people and like hang out and stuff. It is. But it just kind of gets in the way. And if all these companies are making their own individual things, I feel like E3 needs to be way more about the journalism and fuck the public.
Yeah.
Like, because it's so, the public at this point is getting all of their news through the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people actually watch these online events? Not many people. They usually just watch the recap videos of all the trailers, you know?
Yeah.
So what is the big fucking difference if we make it a little bit easier on, and wow, am I really gonna rah fucking Microsoft and fucking Sony? If we're gonna make it a little easier on Microsoft and Sony to not have to do these dumb things where they come out and they paint these fake smiles on their faces and they're like, the Sims now have emotions, and it's like, oh, yay! And then like 5 people clap, and then one guy in the back goes woo. Like, that just seems stupid. Like, why don't we make it more about in-depth, like what this game is about, what the actual mechanics are, what are the systems? Because again, this is an Alice Quino thing. We're coming to an inflection point where graphics are meaning less and less every year. Because, dude, we're so close to photorealistic, and it's the increment, it went from like 8-bit to like 16-bit. But every generation basically past 32, 64, I guess, really, you could argue, it just keeps going and coming closer and closer to photorealistic graphics. So the things that people care about now are the gameplay, are the systems that are there.
Yep.
So let's make this event less about like, oh, look how good Gears of War looks, and more about how does this work? What is this system going to do? And then you fully explain it to journalists and other industry insiders, where it would make more sense to do it that way. And if you did it that way, there'd be more table space. Again, this is an Alex Quino thing. There'd be more table space for smaller indie developers. If you didn't have to have some big fucking bombastic set piece of like a car and some half-naked broad in fucking leather armor because you're making a medieval game. What if we took all that floor space and we gave that cheaper prices so that like smaller indie developers could have some more space on the floor to give them some more highlight? Does that make sense?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, especially considering when you're talking about the diminishing return of graphics, the other thing, not necessarily from a video game perspective as far as the graphics concern, but the sheer limitation of how much wattage and amperage you can put on a single circuit in a house, apartment, yada yada, all that. We're very quickly approaching the point of it's like, okay, plug in your computer into this outlet because it's on one circuit, plug in your graphics card, not the rest of the computer, just the graphics card into this other dedicated circuit.
Okay, if we're gonna fucking like slightly quickly nerd out that quickly, dude, I can't understand how fucking like individual gaming consoles like fucking PS5 is like, oh, we can do 8K. I don't have anything in my house. And again, huge nerd. I have nothing in my house that can display 8K. We don't even have shit that is streaming that even does 4K on a lot of things. There are so many like things right now technologically and I don't know if any of you have seen 4K porn, but like maybe back it down a notch. Like, and I think I've said that on the show before. Like, and let alone I need to see 8K, so I'm gonna have to see like butthole hair on people like soon. Like, that seems like too much. So I feel like we're just at this weird point where graphics and the way that we can display shit, we could even throw frame count into this. And I know that the PC master race is gonna bitch, but the fact of the matter is your human eyeball can only take in 24 frames per second. That's just how humanity is built. So past 120 frames, you're not really getting any returns there. You're just proving that your PC can do that. And so I don't really. Yes, it does look smoother, I guess, but I wouldn't know because I have stupid human eyeballs. So there's like all these things like where I feel like we need to kind of come to a concession. We're gonna have to give up some of this bullshit and stop for right now, at the very least, and look towards other avenues in gaming that we want to allow. You know what I'm saying? That we want to hold up. And right now, it's about like indie gaming, new mechanics.
Yes.
The interesting ways to introduce two maybe wildly different mechanics into a new experience. The introduction of gameplay and storytelling being woven together. That shit still to this day has not been done all that much. Like, you know, I think of like Undertale, fantastic example of that. Like, you know, there are examples, but they're few. Return of the Obra Dinn. There are fantastic examples of this, but they are highlights, not the majority.
Right.
And I think that like because of where we are technologically and where we are just over the history of gaming, it's like we're in the 1970s and we're filmmakers. We kind of did a bunch of experimental shit in the 50s and 60s, and we came through the black and white area, and then now we're in the 70s, and now after the 70s were kind of, there was some great stuff, don't get me wrong, but the 80s really reinvented a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like new genres came up, and so we're in this weird flux zone where game companies are trying to tell us to care about some shit, but most of us are going, why?
Yeah.
Why would I care about that?
Yep.
You know?
Meanwhile, Blue here, people like large numbers. Makes them feel girthy.
It's true. And I don't just, and you know, girth is good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Don't put that on my tombstone. Actually, put that on my tombstone. I lied. I don't disagree, but like there is a point where and a lot of that comes from our nature, right? Like as the fact that we started at 8-bit and then it was 16, then it was 32, then it was 64. Like the industry has always told us bigger is better. But there's a point when like a girl's tits can only get so big. Wow, that was a fucked up thing to say. Like I'm just saying, that was a terrible analogy. But like I'm just saying, like,
are you saying you would actually feel the money shot?
I do. Like I want to be able to experience the money shot and understand why it was a nice looking dong. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like I like, you know. Man, that was a terrible fucking analogy. Jesus Christ. But like really realistically, I think that like we're at such a cool place right now. And again, you know, I'm an old piece of shit, and I've been watching this, you know, the entire thing so far.
Oh yeah.
But we as a community, as gamers, we have to eventually go, you know what? You can't just throw bigger numbers in our face anymore. It doesn't matter. Like it just doesn't matter. You like. Nobody wants more than 9 inches. I'm just saying. Like, and if you do, there's like a website for it. Like, you know, it's like a very specific niche thing. Like, all right. For the love of God, please take this microphone away from me. Oh wait, shit, is it me too now?
Yes, it is you.
God damn it. All right. Okay, you know what? Here, let's talk bigger as better. I got a perfect fucking segue. So, earlier this month, we got to see the Nintendo reveal for the Lego Bowser. Did you see that by any chance?
Yes, I saw that thing.
Okay. So, as a fan of Lego, and obviously, come on, like Bowser, huge fan. So, this massive Bowser Fett, it sits at a foot tall. So it's this big. Oh my God. Ooh, that might have made me look bad. All right. This big. Oh, it's this big. All right, I'm done. And that thing is 2,807 pieces. I, again, as a guy who makes Lego sets, the biggest ones that I've ever done, the Infinity Gauntlet right here, that was 700, roughly. So that's almost triple the size of that. Actually, it is triple, right? 14, 20, yeah. It's almost triple. Big boy Bowser. Also sits at a huge $270 for the set.
Yikes.
Yeah, but it really does look cool. Like, cause he's got some girth. Like, so he's got some girth. But it looks great. But they showed, Nintendo of America showed for the San Diego Comic-Con what their actual Bowser is going to look like. And it is made up of 660 3,900 pieces. It is a legit, supposed to be real sized Lego Bowser. And even cooler than that, it has animatronics. His eyes move, his eyebrows move, his mouth opens and closes. I think they said that the arms do like little claw things, but I didn't see that.
Interesting.
But I gotta say, that is super badass. If you wanna look it up, it's on Nintendo of America's Twitter. They have like a video. It's like, I don't know, 45 seconds long or something. But dude, holy shit! Like that is amazing.
Cool, very cool. The thing I'm curious of at the moment, and I don't know if you didn't get the number for what or what. You mentioned that the quote unquote life size one is 66 some odd thousand pieces. 100,000 pieces. Sorry. But how tall
it's
that?
supposed to be life sized. So
life size
Bowser,
for a dinosaur though.
Well, Bowser on canon is 8 feet tall, or no, 10 feet tall.
Okay.
He's 10 feet tall.
See, I didn't know that.
In canon, so, he's 10 feet tall.
Okay, so yeah, that's a girthy boy.
Yeah, that is a big boy. And watching the animatronics of his eyes move and his eyebrows, I was like, okay, that's fucking dope. So I'm really excited once San Diego Comic-Con comes around to see all the videos of him standing next to people, full scale, and watching him do the movement thing. Somebody in the fucking comments was like, "Could I buy this?" I was like, "What? Like, what are you, like a fucking, what are you, Mr. Monopoly? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?"
I mean, if you got that much to spend, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Sure. Okay, good. So Bill Gates will be able to buy one.
Yeah.
And
oh god, his head moves too, like side to side.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like you said, it's the eyes, the eyebrows, the mouth opens and closes, the thumb opens and closes, and the whole head moves side to side.
Yep.
Shit, no, it's even more. The arms.
Oh, they do raise?
Yeah.
See?
Holy crap.
Yeah. Like, I'm very excited to see that, like, from videos from people who are actually there. Like, that is going to be dope as shit.
14 feet tall.
14 feet tall. I thought it was 10.
Well, this one's 14.
Well, although, I guess if you do the math, that's probably right. Because if a foot-tall replica of Bowser is only 2,800 bricks times 14... No, okay, that's too big a math for me. I'm not gonna pretend like I can do that off my top of my head. But yeah, that's fucking dope as shit. And seriously, if you are interested, go to Nintendo of America's Twitter. They have a little short video of it. It's really cool. I can't wait to see people next to it.
Oh yeah.
Like that is gonna be so dope.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about that.
Thinking about it, I don't think people will be able to get that close to it. Within like a couple of feet, like 3 feet of it, I would imagine.
I guarantee the industry people will be able to.
Yeah, but like Joe Average.
You know what I'm saying? No, Joe Average ain't getting anywhere. Yeah. Dude, could you imagine? Did you ever see that video of that kid who pushes over? Yeah, like literally, and like it just opened. He was like,
yep.
Yeah, like no, you ain't getting anywhere near that. But some fucking industry insiders, I'm sure, will be able to get close to it.
Yeah, definitely.
So that'll be cool. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring attention to that because I just thought that story was fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
663,000 fucking Legos. How many man hours do you think that was?
An insane amount.
Guess.
Insane amount, yeah. Let alone the simple fact of how much does all those Lego pieces weigh? Yeah.
Right. And then you got to bring it in like one of those stupid cake baking fucking shows. You're like, oh, and then the cake goes, oh, and you're like, oh, like,
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally is.
Yep. I gotta take a slash. You can start. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
This is gonna be a good one with Microsoft Blizzard, so hurry up.
Okay, well, just give me the start. Give me the first 2 sentences, and I guarantee I'll know what you're talking about.
UK investing whether the merger would make a monopoly.
Yep.
Okay.
I already got you.
Okay, cool.
Gotcha, baby.
So, like I said, guys, the Microsoft Blizzard, technically the Microsoft Activision Blizzard merger, obviously the ink is nowhere near dry, especially considering how there's a a UK investigation going on whether the merger would actually make a monopoly or not. And I know you're probably sitting here thinking, well, it wouldn't. Like multiple different game companies are still out there, blah blah blah, and all that. Basically, what's going on is Microsoft is the third largest tech company in the world. And currently, Activision Blizzard is the fifth largest game company in the world. You put them together, effectively, that would mean that they would be the third largest company by revenue, behind Tencent and and Sony, behind just those two. But it would be the third largest company in the world by revenue. Now, having said that, though, the main issue is the Competition and Markets Authority, or CMA, in the UK is investigating as to whether, when you take the third largest tech company and the fifth largest gaming company in the world and merge them into one, thus making the third largest by revenue company in the world, is that a monopoly? And I'm no legal expert. Alex is not a legal expert.
But I sure am cute.
Yeah. There's a lot of questions to be asked, a lot of answers to be wanted. It's hard to say in general.
I don't disagree, but the problem here is the way that we have always seen. Let's take a step back from our industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the United States, there's not supposed to be a monopoly on power or the internet,
Right.
but the way that they do it is by dividing the entire country up into these big stupid sections. So like on the entire East Coast at this point, basically if you want internet, you go to Spectrum.
Yep.
If you're on the West Coast, I can't remember what the name of it is. But that's their version of not having monopoly. But let's say I live on the East Coast. I really only have one option, which is bullshit.
Uh-huh.
So they're like, there is no true way to like look at this, because when a company gets so big that they can buy up an entire eastern seaboard and that's still not considered a monopoly is bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Like, if I don't have any other options, but the thing is, they're always like, oh, Comcast, thank you. They still consider that to not be a monopoly, which is like absurd in my eyes, right? Like, I feel like if you live in any city in America, you should be able to have two choices for both power and internet, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like, but they go, oh, well, there's this satellite piece of shit radio thing that like 9 guys with some string threw up and over a tree, so you could have that as your other internet. It's like, yeah, but this is the worst internet of all time. They're like, oh, not a monopoly. Like, yep. So like the system is rigged against us is what I guess I'm trying to say. So like for me, I don't know, like, and what are we going to do about it? Like at the end of the day, right? So we've been talking for weeks about all these big companies buying up more and more shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck weeks, fuck months.
Pretty much the entire time.
Right? That is nice. So like there is a point again where it doesn't even fucking matter at the end of the day. None of this shit is gonna like help any of us. And what am I gonna do? Stand in front of a fucking railroad track and be like, oh no, this is bullshit. I'm willing to Tiananmen, like that Tiananmen Square lad. No, yep. I'm not gonna get run over by a tank. I'm not gonna set myself on fire. Like I just had Cox growing up in Virginia. See, like the whole system just doesn't make any sense. This is one of these things where I don't know. I would still say that, does it matter? Let's say they even find out it is. What's really going to come of it?
Good question.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the easiest thing to just sit there and say, "Oh yeah, this will definitely make it a monopoly." So therefore,
It would help
well,
out everyone.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's there's so much to look at on this that it's hard to sit there and say yes and no, clear cut very easily, especially considering how the two other companies that this merger would make Microsoft fall behind as far as by revenue, Sony, who just bought Bungie,
Mm-hmm.
Tencent, a name that we
Who owns everybody?
yeah,
Who
well,
owns everybody?
I don't know
Dude,
if they
Tencent is Chinese and they own fucking 8 squillion companies.
well,
Like,
see, that's the thing is I don't know if they own them or if they're just like major
they own them.
investors. Oh, they
No,
own them.
they own
Okay,
them. Yeah, they own them.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah. They if you have more than 52%, you technically,
oh yeah,
in the
yeah,
eyes of the law, own
own,
them
yeah,
because you are the majority stockholder.
shareholder, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Um,
But again, what's the fucking okay? So then they say what? Okay, well, like there's no answer here. They're
mhm.
not gonna like start selling stuff off. They're not gonna change practices. This is like the government trying to throw like this is literally the beginning of fucking Blade Runner.
Mhm.
So the government wants to throw their dick around to prove that they're like, oh, we got power, and they're gonna go, okay, but legally, what are you gonna do? And they go, I don't know. We just wanted to prove a point, so
Yeah,
I guess get out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they the way that we have set the system up in democracy wise, what are you gonna do?
yeah.
They have 10 gajillion lawyers. They have $7 squillion. You're basically just the government. You're a guy with a hat, like, which
Basically,
is not the best.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
And what I find really funny with all of this is okay, they're balking at the Microsoft Activision Blizzard merger.
Yeah.
Okay, where were these guys when Sony bought up Bungie?
Well, that's a smaller purchase, to be fair. Like, that's a smaller purchase.
They're the second largest company by revenue in the world. I mean,
Well, not video game company. This
from-
wasn't like let's just say this wasn't Amazon buying Microsoft.
Hmm.
Google buying Microsoft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But again, we're getting to the point where we're squeezing the two because the whole cyberpunk dystopia thing. Did you ever notice? Like, I don't know how much fucking cyberpunk bullshit you've read or watched or whatever.
Mhm.
There's only ever like 4 corporations.
Oh yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
Demolition Man, Taco Bell won the food wars, and there was only one fast food place,
Yep.
and it was so. Even if that's the case, it just doesn't matter because it doesn't change anything. They can always be like, "Oh, well, we only own the Northeast, or we only own the West Coast, or we only own that." Like, there are so many legal loopholes because when we made all these rules originally, we weren't thinking about this shit.
Mhm.
Like the founding fathers weren't thinking about ARs when they wrote the fucking like, oh god, not even gonna go down that road.
Yeah,
But I'm just saying,
please don't.
I'm just saying, like when these rules were originally written, and we haven't done like constitutional amendments in forever.
Mhm.
Like it's just like I don't know. I can't. The government just keeps going doop doop doop, and corporation power keeps going doop doop doop. Like it's just how it is, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm just gonna be some guy on a fucking stream bitching about it. Like, oh my god, am I becoming that guy from fucking Transformers? Oh no, that's a problem. Or even that new Godzilla movie. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I have one left, but it does kind of tie into this. We can make it really quick though.
Go for it.
And this is definitely a country throwing their dick around energy. That's why I'm going to draw this correlation. So, the UK government has called for games companies to take greater responsibility in protecting children. We have talked about this a bunch in the past, about loot crates, about the entirety of Europe kind of banding together and being like, loot crates are predatory and they are not great for pushing moderation, right? Like gaming as a whole, loot crates in particular, they really try to just tap that lizard brain so that like people will give them more money.
Yep.
So the gambling thing is a big part of it. Like, so anyways, the English government has had a statement come out. Cultural Secretary Nadine Dorris said that game companies and platforms need to ensure parental purchase controls and age restrictions when they are actually making the games. I love this idea. So basically what she is saying, she's proposing in England, is that on the main menu, you can go to options and you could choose to turn loot crates off, to choose to turn off anything gambly, basically. So it wouldn't be country by country. It would just be in the main menu for most games. And I really like this idea. Now, again, over the years, loot crates have gone down, right, in popularity. But I think that this is another thing I'd like to bring up that I really found interesting about this article. While Nadine was talking about this, I said that like I know her. Me and Nadine were talking, and one of the things she brought up was the Xbox's parental restrictions on loot boxes under AIDS were actually singled out for praise.
Cool.
Because in the base system of the Xbox, you can tell it if it has a loot crate element and you click the no box, it will not show up in the game.
Very cool.
Did you know that was a thing?
No, I didn't.
Yep. So that's pretty fucking top.
Yeah.
And I think that like that's again, this is putting it into the hands of another multinational corporation. But I like that. But so she praises that, and then she says that the government will now say that if legislation, if the rest of the industry doesn't follow suit. So basically saying if the core system can't be told to have these parental controls for, because shit, the other fucking week, I don't even remember who the fuck it was. I was talking to somebody with a kid, and their son had spent $6,000 on COD. $6,000.
That's nuts.
And there's no way to fight it. It was your credit card. It went into the system. So I like the idea of an underlying system where you go Xbox, no. Like I either need to give them my specific Alex Quino passcode to use my credit card, so I have to type in Nick Fury or whatever to authenticate my card, or that I can just tell it I never want this, because if I was using this system with my son or daughter, I never want to have a purchase option available, so it doesn't even appear in game. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Yeah, because a lot of those are effectively mechanics that are not important to whatever story, if there even is a story. Because a lot of these games that have loot boxes are like Overwatch and Call of Duty and things that it's like story. Pew pew, they're dead. There's the story.
Have you been playing this lately?
So the fact that you at the console level should be able to sit there and go, okay, yeah, get rid of that entirely.
Right.
Then
that's exactly right.
I'm totally behind that, because that's a win regardless of whose shoes you're in, aside from the money grubbing salesperson. Yeah.
Right. And I think that is, if you had it in your standards that you had to run all of your loot box bullshit through this system, and that system could just turn it off, like, and just go, no, it's just not available because that person had chose not to have that available. Like, that's a really good way to do it. That's a kernel level fix, like if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
So the interesting thing about this, obviously, children and people who have gambling addictions were like the main highlight of this.
Yeah.
But I'd like to read this quote because it's kind of like an interesting way. This is a different person. So, as a responsible industry, we have committed to exploring additional ways to support players and parents to build our existing work, developing and raising awareness of parental controls. This is Joe Twist, CEO of the UK's gaming trade body Yuki. So this dude is saying the same thing we were just saying. It should just be a root system where things just have to go through it. And if you want to turn it off, turn it off. Like, you shouldn't have to even see it. Like, you know? And I think that's completely fair. Because there's the way that we as designers have been changing our perspectives over the last, let's call it since 2014, 2015, easily 2016 is like the worst part of it, right?
Yeah.
We have been trained from the higher ups to make the most addicting systems possible, to trigger your rat brain to click that little button to make a little pellet drop. That's a little bit of fucking like endorphins, and maybe you'll put in a quarter the next time you can hit that little rat button. And that's, frankly, it's despicable. Like,
yes.
it is. It's despicable. So I like this movement of saying, you know what? Let's just take it out of our hands. Like, you know, because you could still do it that way. Yep. Like, right? The company would still be happy. You still design, like, you know, you make a little rat dispenser. But if the end user can just say, I don't want any of it before they even load into your game, I think that's the happiest answer for all of us. Does that make sense?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm excited to see, like, because again, this is now country number 6 that is really starting to take this seriously in Europe.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure in America that'll take us another 25 years past that. But
easily.
if the major corporations have to buy into this system because of Europe, if one location centralizes and goes, fuck that.
Yep.
And they have to, and then we'll get that by like drip off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so thanks again, Europe, for like, you know, pushing this a little bit further. Like, I really, really hope that we get more of these in-depth looks into how fucking, dude, play a fucking goddamn anything on mobile. It's awful.
Yeah. Oh God.
Like the amount of ways that they try to monetize off you is unbelievable.
Yep.
Like, you know,
whether it be loot box, microtransaction for this thing,
watching videos,
yep.
Like, dude, there is just it's a million and one ways to, and like I have fallen victim to this. Like a certain game that I really do like, and watch a video, it's 30 seconds, I can fucking mute the thing. And then I'm just like, whatever. This gives me a huge boost and whatever. And then I just like, you know, zone out on TV again. Like, we are becoming aggressively good as designers of figuring out ways to monetize off of people in horrible ways. Like, you know, do you remember back in the day when it was like, I have $60, I would like a game.
Yeah.
And then they would just give you a game and you go, thank you, I have a game. That's it. That's the entire transaction.
On top of that, it's not a thing of, it's like, oh, okay, here's the first chapter. No, it's like, here is the full complete game. There is no extra add-ons, DLCs, blah, blah, blah. It is 100% complete.
Shit on the disc.
Here you go.
Shit on the disc. You remember when that was a problem?
Oh,
like,
God.
Content already on the disc, and we're going to try to sell it to you as DLC. That was fucking rank. We live in an interesting era for gaming. And I think that, like, that's one of the things that I will always love about this industry. We're doing a whole new thing here, a thing that's never been done.
Yep.
Like, you know, an interactive medium where, and especially now as the times have gone along, now the internet's connected to you. Oh, now we have your credit card information. How can we milk that further? How can we, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just going to be a bunch of disgusting little tendrils that we as the public are going to have to chop off or decide together, no, this is not going to work.
Yep,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and we have a laundry list already.
Oh god.
We just mentioned a shit ton of them. We didn't even say the 3-letter fucking awfulness. Like, you know, and it's just how it's going to be for a very long time. You know, we just have to be vigilant. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Anyways, that is the last of mine. Actually, I am done.
I still have more, but
yeah, it's already 11:05. Want to do one more? Fun one? You got a fun one in there?
No, I don't.
Oh, god damn it.
I don't have a fun one for any of these. One is semi-politically related.
Nope.
The other is just straight up bummer drummer, and the third has the 3-letter forbidden topic.
No.
So
you let it, he who shall not be named to stay on the curb. Like, fuck that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
right.
None of what I've got left is good.
Well, you know what though? That's totally fine because I think we still had a ton of fun. Today.
Yeah.
So
yeah, tons of fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess bye, Rich's chat, and next Tuesday.
Yep, definitely.
Yep.
Bye, Alex's chat.
I will see you guys next week.
Yep. Alrighty, guys. That'll be it for us tonight. Thank you, everybody who came out, hung out, whether you were just lurking or joined in on the conversation. Thank you all for being here. It's, as always, a ton of fun to do this for you. And if you want to lurk, that's cool. If you want to jump in with your own opinions, that's cool too. I should be back tomorrow with some more Raft. If not, it will be Friday. I will then go live, where I'll be teaming up with Storm Shield again. Probably doing more Anarchy Online, maybe? I don't know. I'll talk with him some more and figure it out from there. Either way, hope you all had fun. I did. See you next time. Bye!